If you've been learning Japanese for a while, you've probably realized that the real goal is to get past those textbook phrases and start sounding, natural. Today, we're going to unlock a huge piece of that puzzle, the volitional form. This is your key to sounding less like you're in a classroom and way more like you're just chatting with friends.
So think about this classic situation. You want to say something simple, right? Like, hey, let's grab some food, or let's go see a movie. You've probably learned one way to say let's, but it might feel a little stiff, maybe a bit too polite for when you're just hanging out. So how do you fix that? Well, that is exactly what we're going to dive into today.
All right, so here's the game plan. First, we'll cover what the volitional form even is. Then, we're going to break down how to actually make it for all three kinds of verbs, the ru-verbs, the ru-verbs, and those couple of tricky irregulars. And to finish things off, we'll look at a super easy way to level it up to make offers. Let's get to it.
Okay, first things first, what are we actually talking about here? The volitional form is basically your go-to for making casual suggestions. It's really the heart of how people make informal plans and decisions when they're talking to each other.
So the really important thing to get here is that it does two jobs at once. On one hand, you can use it to say what you plan on doing, kind of like saying, I think I'll head to bed early. But on the other hand, and this is how you'll hear it most often with friends, it's the perfect way to say, hey, let's do this. It's just incredibly useful.
Now this is the key distinction. I'm willing to bet you learned the ましょう form pretty early on, right? Like in 食べましょう for let's eat. And that's totally correct, but it's the polite way to say it. The volitional form is its casual twin. When you use this one with your friends, that's when you really start to sound natural and relaxed.
All right, let's get our hands dirty and start building this thing. We're going to start with the absolute easiest group of verbs to change, the ru-verbs. Seriously, if you can get these down, you are well on your way.
Okay, so the rule for these is super simple. You just take a ru-verb, like taberu, which means to eat. All you do is chop off that final ru at the end and tack on yo instead. That's it. So, taberu becomes tabeyo. Easy as that.
And you can really see that pattern lock in right here. Taberu, to eat, becomes tabeyo. Let's eat. Miru, to see, becomes miyo. Let's see. And neru, to sleep, becomes neyo. Let's sleep. It's just a clean, consistent swap every single time.
Now let's see how they look in a full sentence. That first one, watashi wa ashita keiki o tabeyo, is showing personal intention. I will eat cake tomorrow. But look at the second one, watashi tachi wa shishino miyo. Using we turns it into a group suggestion. Let's look at photos. This just shows how that one form works perfectly for both jobs.